Yo, what up? How you guys doing out there today? This is your boy Roto Beast. I'm here to present you my NBA morning shoot around for Friday, December 13th. If you're new to this channel, please make sure and click the subscribe button below. This way you can watch all my NBA, NFL, and MLB videos. If you haven't came and checked out our website here at dfscheatsheet.com, you're absolutely missing out. We have all the tools to help you compete with the pros day in and day out, including a complete optimizer, tons of content, daily Fanduel and Draftkings cash lineups. Hey, we're truly a one-stop shop for our DFS needs. So make sure to check out the site here at dfscheatsheet.com. So we got a solid little 9-game slate here. A couple fun games to watch. There's some injury news that we have to wait on. Some pretty big injury news. Mainly the Antetokounmpo one because it puts a bunch of his teammates in play if he ends up being out. Yeah, man, let's jump into this. We'll do this the way we usually do it. We'll go position by position, and I'll give you the top 5 or 6 plays that I think are the best at each spot. Try to get you a couple of guys to pay up for, a couple good value plays as well. So we'll start at point guard. I'm going to kind of clump these guys together because I'm not crazy interested in them, but I definitely think that they both are in play. You start with Russell Westbrook. You start with Trae Young. Russell Westbrook is definitely taking a back seat this year to James Harden, but he still is getting close to a triple-double nightly. Trae Young is doing everything for his team. So if you're going to pay up, I think that those guys both are GPP options. I'm not really too crazy into them for cash. Same thing with Ben Simmons. I do like Ben Simmons also at 8,800 going against New Orleans. I think that he's in a pretty decent spot also, but he is a GPP play as well. I think all three of the top guys, more GPPs. There's some pretty good mid-tier value plays here at the point guard spot. A guy I really do like, though, I like Malcolm Brogdon at 7,800 in an up-tempo game against Atlanta. I think he's borderline cash. He's been playing very well on the season. I think this is a really, really good play here. And this is a very up-tempo game going against a young Trae Young. He's going to be battling. So, yeah, man, I think Malcolm Brogdon's in a pretty good spot. We got to wait on Antetokounmpo news. If Antetokounmpo ends up being out, love Eric Bledsoe, love Middleton, love all those Milwaukee guys because they all get a big-time bump. Eric Bledsoe at 6.7 is a fair price tag as it is already. And then with no Antetokounmpo, I'll put him in my cash games, lock him and Middleton in if Antetokounmpo is out. Jeff Teague, he has a game-time decision if he does end up playing. He's coming in too cheap at 5,000. I think that he's a guy that we can really look at. Going against the Clippers, it isn't the easiest matchup, but this is just too dirt cheap of a price tag. As you can see, we have him projected at 30 fantasy points for 6x. You really got to like that. Kendrick Nunn going against the Lakers at 5,500. He's definitely in play. I've been playing this guy a bunch this year. He's been very consistent. It's a very fair price tag. You need about 27 for value. I like Kendrick Nunn. I think that he's in a good spot here. One more guy I think that we can also pay down for. Like I said, there's some good mid-tier and value plays here at the point guard spot. One more guy I think that we can look at is DeAnthony Melton for Memphis. The guy's been playing very well, been pretty consistent. Definitely think that he can get you 6x on this 4,000 price tag, has some upside. So I think he's another guy that we can look to pay down for as well. Moving on to shooting guard, you start at the top. You got James Harden. Anytime he's on the slate, definitely he's in play. Should be a pretty up-tempo game against Atlanta, back and forth. I like James Harden in this spot. I think that, like I said, anytime. I don't know if I want to pay up for him, but if you're going to pay up, I think that you definitely got to consider paying up for him. Then we'll go down a little bit. I think that you can look at Donovan Mitchell. As long as Mike Conley continues to be out, a bunch of these guys get bumps. They get usage bumps for Utah. Donovan Mitchell is one of those guys that definitely gets a big-time bump. You can look at Jimmy Butler. He's going to, come out. He's going to want the ball going against LeBron. Anthony Davis, this game should be pretty competitive. Jimmy Butler should be out there, giving it his all, 9,700. He's the best player on the team. He has the ball in his hands, and he's going to definitely look to produce in a big-time game. Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton is a guy. I said we got to wait on the Antetokounmpo news. But if Antetokounmpo does end up being out, I really like Chris Middleton. I'll put him in my cash game at 6,700. Not think twice and move on. So that's some big news that we definitely got to wait on. A couple guys to pay down for. Bojan Bogdanovic, 4,500. I love him in this spot against New York. It's a great price tag as well. I think that you can play him in cash games, feel pretty comfortable with it. I like Bogdanovich, a little bit more of a GPP play, but JJ Redick at 4,000. I think that, he gives you a little bit of upside on this price tag going against Philadelphia, his former team. He's going to come out with a chip on his shoulder, look to shoot the ball. And we know JJ Redick could get us 30 fantasy points, which would be, 7, 8x on this 4,000 price tag. Going to small forward, we got to wait on the Antetokounmpo news. If he does end up playing, you got to consider him. I don't know if he's going to play, though. It's not looking very good. And then, like I said, if that's the case, then we'll be looking at all his other teammates that all get bumps. But we'll start at the top. LeBron James against Miami. I definitely think this is a pretty good spot for LeBron. 10.6. This game should be, pretty competitive, going against his own head coach as well. LeBron's in a pretty good spot here. A couple more guys. We can look at Paul George, 9,300. He's in play. Tobias Harris is coming in too cheap at 7,800. I like him as well, even though it is the second end of a back-to-back. A guy GPP, but I think we can look at Jonathan Isaac in up-tempo game against Houston. Pretty good spot right here for him. And then one more guy that has been getting a bump with, we talk about the point guard being out for Utah, Joe Ingles at 5,500. I think Joe Ingles is in a pretty good spot here to have a good game against Golden State. The minutes have came up. Also, the price tag has came up, but the production is also coming up as well. I still think just a very fair price tag for Joe Ingles. Moving on to power forward, Anthony Davis, surprise coming in as a game-time decision. He's been a game-time decision all year. It is what it is. I expect him to play. 11.2, I think that this is a pretty decent spot for him. Miami, he's going to be going against – if he's going to be going against Bam, Bam is a good defender. But, this is Anthony Davis. Top 5 player in the league. I'm not going to shy away from the matchup against anybody. Definitely think that he is in play. Kawhi Leonard, if he does end up playing it today, then I think that he is in play going against Minnesota. Domantas Sabonis, I like him at 9,000. I think that, it's an up-tempo game against Atlanta. Definitely think that he's in a good spot here. Jaren Jackson, strictly a GPP play, but I like Jaren Jackson. The young guy definitely is a baller. He definitely has some upside for us here. A couple more guys I think that we can look to pay down at this spot. I think two guys that I like down there. They're both for the Warriors. I think we can look at Spellman, 3,700. The guy's been playing pretty well. The minutes definitely have been there. Also, I think that we can look at Marquise Chris, 3,500. Both of these guys are getting some extended run, and both have been playing pretty well. And the pretty dirt cheap price tags also. So definitely Marquise Chris and Spellman. You can pay for one of those guys on the cheaper end. If one of them starts, then they kind of get the bump over the other one. Moving on to center to finish it off, Karl-Anthony Towns, 11.1. Definitely think that Karl-Anthony Towns is in play. Going against the Clippers, if they're going to be putting a guy like Harrell on them, Harrell is undersized, and Towns could definitely, kind of dominate down there. Rudy Gobert going against Golden State. This is a spot that Gobert could definitely have a really, really good game. I also like Valanciunas going against Brook Lopez. I think Valanciunas can have a monster game here. The only thing that about Valanciunas I don't like is he doesn't get minutes in the 30s usually, and that kind of is what takes me off him at this price tag. But I think he is a GPP play, going to come in lower owned as well. Clint Capella's in play going against Orlando without Vucevic. Definitely think that you can look at him. Also, Wendell Carter, if he does end up playing at 6,500, I think he's a guy we could consider as well. I think the center is probably the spot that we're going to pay up for is kind of what I'm looking at right now. But, that's really where I'm at. If you want a more in-depth analysis on today's slate, make sure to check out the site, dfscheatsheet.com. And, hey, good luck on guys' contests, all right? Peace out.